So if I put this around my neck, are you going to strangle me?
No,
Would it strangle me?
If you leave, I will strangle you.
Okay, well, here's the deal. I should not be wearing these.
Why?
Well, they're
American.
yours.
If you've cheered against me, take them off.
If I cheered against you, boo hiss.
Or maybe I should say thank you because that's motivating too.
Yeah.
It all serves.
So what are you doing here? Why are you here at Arizona Athletic Grounds? What's going on?
Well, I mean, can you call it a facility?
I know, right?
It's a community in itself.
Gigantic.
I've been here a couple times. Last year, my boys played basketball, and I'm like, this is a ridiculous facility. I want to get to know it. I want to see what they're doing to see how they expand. And then this year, the opportunity came from my company, P1440, to partner with AAG in the sport of volleyball, beach volleyball. Yeah. And so you guys have 12 beach volleyball courts, and P1440 runs weekly programming, and then we'll have some big national events here, and I'll come out here and do some trainings, indoor and beach. And so basically, this sport of volleyball has given me everything. And my mission is to leave it in a better place times 10 than when I came in. We're able to affect more athletes. We're able to give them more opportunities to compete and to train at the highest level. AAG is, blue chip, gold standard, and that's what we want to be.
Why the name of the company? Give me the background, the name of the company.
Okay. Well, it actually came from marriage counseling.
Okay. I love this.
Yeah, here we go.
We get marriage counselor. I love this.
You got to pull in all your learnings. Well, first of all, the P means platform, because we didn't want to just be an events company. We want to be a platform with which our stars could launch. And then the 1440 comes from, do you know there's only 1,440 minutes in the day?
Yes.
Did you know that?
I did know that. I've heard that.
Could be fibbing. Okay, well, I learned that.
In
marriage
counseling?
In counseling, because my counselor with my husband's like, babe, you give everyone your time, your energy, and you come home, and your time with us is less because you give everyone, you're spending so much time outside. And my counselor was like, you're not taking care of your 1440. And I was like, well, what is that? That sounds ridiculous. He's like, that's the number of minutes you get in a day, and you're not taking care of yours. And it blew my mind, being like, you're right. Time is the most precious resource. You can never get it back. And so 1440 became the filter through which I live my personal life. And my personal life is so connected to my career path. And so we wanted to bring it to the masses because it's a universal concept. If you can live in the moment, if you can take care of your minutes, life will be beautiful. So the power of presence has changed my life. It's made me a better mother. It's made me a better athlete. And now as an entrepreneur, when you're just in the moment, it's just, you're a magnet to good stuff. And Chad, the owner of this beautiful facility, I feel like he is someone, when you're in the moment, when you live in your power, people gravitate toward you, and you gravitate for people. And I feel like this partnership, long story short, is because I live these principles. Our team lives these principles, and so it's pretty magical what happens when you believe and show up and have the intention to serve. It's awesome. Okay, so how does that work in beach volleyball? How does that work, the principles you've talked about? Because I believe in everything that you're saying. I believe that the power to say two letters, N and O, is very big and huge as well. I didn't get that in marriage counseling, but I just believe it to be true. I just believe it to be true. And so when you're talking about your personal belief system, but you did say it is in sports, take me down that path, because there's people like, that's kind of interesting. Oh, well, to me, sport has just been my mechanism to learn about myself and the world. Because you learn about all of it. Failure and communication and resilience and health and stoicism and philosophy and all these things. If you look at sport is my craft, it's been my greatest teacher. And if my intention going into game is no matter what, I'm gonna act like a champion head up, and then you shank 5 balls in a row, it's so hard to not let your whole body show it. You never shanked 5 in a row. Oh, I did in the Olympics. That's why we got 5 in a row? But my point is, you have to ask yourself, who do you want to be? Sport allows you to practice that because you're going to fail a lot. It's just part of it. And the failures is what leads you to gold if you allowed it. So that's how we kind of implement, the holistic athlete and bringing your principles and values to life in sport. It's all one big self-help session out there. You have to be your biggest fan. I love that. Otherwise, you might as well go join the other team. Yes. No, that is. There are parents watching right now, and I will write on my platforms a letter, and I call it Dear Crazy Parent. Oh. And I don't mean that in a negative way. You could be talking to one. But it's
they're chasing and they're chasing and they're chasing. And one day, our 4 kids, my wife and I, our 4 kids, we chased and chased, and one day they all grew up and they left.
Yeah.
And you looked at it and you said, well, thank goodness somebody smacked me upside the head and said, hey, enjoy the moment.
Yeah.
Be present.
Yes.
Don't move your kids from school to school to school. Don't move from club to club to club. Don't have them quit during the time. In the world that you're in beach volleyball, is there some of that, any of that you see?
All of it.
Yeah.
All of it. You know, but I think I loved how you phrased that you were chasing things. And I think that we've been conditioned in our culture to chase and to pursue beautiful, because that's action, and you're chasing what is meaningful to you. But I think what's most important is to be. If you're not a little crazy, what are you even doing, first of all? But second of all, you know, our babies, it's our job, and it's so hard. Like, I'm not good at this, but like the tough love that I had, our generation had growing up, it doesn't really exist today, you know, and we can't feather nest for our babies because then they won't have strong wings. And so I think, you know, I want to raise my kids so they don't need me. And that hurts my heart to say out loud, but I want them to be able to stand on their own 2 feet, be their own problem solvers. And if I can do that for myself, I know they'll be that. And sport gives them a chance to practice it, you know?
Where is your sport now?
Our sport is choo! So we've been on an ascending vertical for a long time now.
Right.
And when you say my sport, I think indoor and I think beach.
Okay.
Indoor is nuts. The beach space is following the indoor trajectory. You know, our beach teams is 2-on-2, so you don't have the 6-on-6, so the numbers are less. But P1440, one of the reasons I'm so proud of us is that we are literally real-time growing the game. And we're growing the game by creating these amazing, great, very elite opportunities to compete and train. You know, here on the grounds, we're having a great tournament this weekend, but we're also giving back to communities that have never even thought about beach volleyball, never even heard of it. So we're scaling the game in underserved communities that are like, well, what the heck is this? Because there's so much opportunity in the game. We don't want to just have it for a select few. It should be for everybody.
Right here, where you and I are sitting, I live about 3 miles away. I'm in the middle of the freaking desert.
Yeah.
And beach volleyball is huge.
Arizona.
They built some beach volleyball courts. And I'm a Southern California kid, so when I got over here, it's like, why is there no water polo? Why is there no beach volleyball? And now we've got beach volleyball, we don't have water polo yet. But it's the idea that if you can have beach volleyball work in Queen Creek, Gilbert, Arizona,
oh my gosh,
why can't you make it work in Denver or Boise or?
Well, it's working everywhere, and it's global. I mean, when you have the Olympics represented, you know, you have Germany, who's incredible. You have Switzerland, who's incredible. Latvia, places you would never think. My favorite tournament of all time is at the base of the Alps in Switzerland. Like, beach volleyball can go everywhere.
Wow.
So when you think of Gilbert, you know, you think hot and beautiful and dry and desert. Beach volleyball is a natural fit in no matter the scape. Cityscape, desertscape, beachscape. That's one of the magic things about our sport.
Before I get you out of here, and I appreciate all your time, when you're putting together, like you're doing here at the grounds, what is the biggest piece of advice? I don't want to use the term mistake, but when you see parents that are coming up through it, they don't know what they're walking into. And they're like, I want my kid to be involved in this sport. What is it you would say, maybe 1 or 2 things, like, please do this and please do that? For the kids. You mentioned babies earlier.
I know, sorry, my kids are not babies anymore, they're my babies.
Yeah.
You know, there's a quote that I love that might answer this question. So the quote is this: the man who loves walking will walk further than the man who loves his destination. And to me, that means do it for the love of it. Like, literally, like, put your kids in sports so they'll learn how to be a good teammate, so they'll learn discipline, so they'll learn good, healthy habits, so they'll learn who they are, and not for the outcome. Anytime I chased the outcome, the journey was miserable and I fell short. And I feel like we forget that, you know, our kids are like little cakes being baked, and we have to add it into each ingredient one at a time, you know. And I think everyone wants a shortcut to greatness, and their kids are 10 and 13 and vying for college scholarships. Don't worry about that. If you put the time in, if you keep showing up and focus on the progress and not the end result, you will get there. And my greatest failures have led me to so much growth within myself and new avenues, redirections. You know, I just want, and adults know that for ourselves, but we have to let our babies do that too.
Yeah.
You know, I think if we make everything a little bit less important, like, don't not care and give everything, but make the results less important, I think it'll take the pressure off our kids.
you ever take these in front of the kids and say, do you know how hard I had to work to get this?
Yeah, I say, you listen to me. Go clean your room. Look what I
That's it.
did.
Look at this. This is what-
Like, Mom, it's bronze.
my neck is, yeah, right.
I'll be like, you're right. I know.
My neck is pulling down from this, so I'm going
I
to
know.
stop now.
You gotta
Appreciate
tell-
you.
Oh,
Thanks
same.
for coming out.
Thank
Good
you for
luck to
having
you.
me. Yeah,
Appreciate
you
it.
too. We'll be back. You're
There
not
you
rid
go.
of me yet.